Hi there, it's Ashley from the Loopy Lamb, and today we are going to be taking a look at a new yarn called Preciosa Tonal. So Preciosa actually means precious, so I thought that was kind of fun. And this is a worsted weight yarn, and it is a roving style yarn. It looks like a cloud. So let's take a look at what we've got. So on the left, we've got this beautiful green color called Cacti, and on my right, we've got Summer Sky. And these are 100 gram hanks, and there are 273 yards to a hank. Let's take a look here. So this is 100% merino wool. It's not superwash, so you'll hand wash in cold and dry flat is the recommended care. And it's like I said, worsted weight, so it's classified as a size 4 wool. And for your crochet gauge, you're looking at 11 to 14 single crochets in a 4-inch gauge swatch made with I to K hooks. And for you knitters, it is 4.25 to 5 stitches in a 1-inch gauge swatch made with 7 to 9 size needles. So these are available from crochet.com, and taking a look at the website, it looks like this is available in 12 different colors. They have a really pretty color called Ballet that I've been eyeing. So just a really pretty light pink. So this yarn is really, really soft. It's a roving style yarn, like I said, so it just looks very floofy and like a cloud. So we're going to see how this works out. But just off the bat, you can see the really pretty tonal variations in this yarn. And I'm always really interested to see how tonal yarns work up in a crochet swatch, because they do tend to look a little different when it's worked up in crochet versus the knit. So I'm going to put this on hold for a second and take this away, swatch it up, and I'll be right back so we can take a look at some swatches. Okay, I am back with my crochet swatch of the Preciosa Tonal, and a little frustrated because I guess there was a mishap when I opened the yarn box that the yarn came in, and I had cut through the back of the light blue color of this yarn that we're reviewing today, and I didn't notice, and I went to start caking it, and more than half of it was just short little pieces. So that was a bit frustrating, but we still have a swatch. We have this beautiful cacti color. So I'm trying to focus on the positive and not be so angry that I accidentally cut through my yarn. So, here's our swatch. I used a 6mm Furls Odyssey to do the basic stitches, which is what I started with. I did a few rows here of the single crochet, followed by some half double crochet, and ended with some double crochets stitches here. Then I used my 6.5 Clover Takumi Tenation hook and did some Tenation simple stitch at the top. Love the way the Tenation looks in this yarn. I'm not a huge fan of roving yarns typically because as a designer, I do a lot of frogging, right? So I'll try something, I don't like it, I go to frog it, and then just roving yarn gets tangled, and it can be frustrating, right? But with the Tenation, I frogged this to test it. I think it was 10 rows of Tenation simple stitch, and not a problem frogging it whatsoever. So I might be finding a new love for roving yarns with the Tenation. So I do intend to frog this back and try something new in Tenation with it, because it does look great. It is super soft. The only thing about the Tenation is that you can't really see the color variations, like the tonal variations that you do with the normal stitches. And I love how subtle the tonal changes in this yarn are, because I was crocheting away and I couldn't even tell that the colors were changing at all when I was doing these stitches until I stepped away from it and looked back and said, oh wow, look, like there's some darker stitches here and some here. didn't even catch that, and just so subtle and so pretty. I bet it would just look great in a larger piece. But here in the Tunisian, and it just might be that I haven't gotten to too many of the tonal changes because it uses less yarn than the regular stitches. I just don't see any tonal variations in it. It's still gorgeous, but I'd have to work it up into a bigger swatch to see how those tonal variations work out in the Tunisian. But really liking that I can frog that back with no issues. And yeah, that might be my go-to technique for using roving yarns in the future. But the yarn itself is just a squishy delight. It's very soft. The fuzz factor is very low, so it still has surprisingly great stitch definition despite the fact that it is roving yarn. And so, yeah, I might, like I said, I might even be starting to like roving yarns all the more now that I'm going to be trying them out with Tunisian. So if you are interested in checking out the Preciosa Tonal yarn from We Crochet, I'll make sure to link to that in the description box for below for you. And if you've tried this yarn, I'd love to hear from you, hear what your experience was, and I'd also love to hear any suggestions you might have for what we should make with this yarn. If you enjoy free crochet patterns, please check out my blog, theloopylamb.com. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks so much for watching, friends. Happy hooking, and I'll see you next time.